here with Jon Hurst today at the Acton's 40th Terry Fox Run, and Jon, you've been the chair for the entire time of the festival.
I have. I was a co-chair the first year with two other gentlemen, and moved into the chair position the second year by myself, and I've been there ever since.
So Jon, obviously there's been some big changes to the run this year. Can you explain some of the changes that have happened with COVID?
Well, of course, this year was our 40th anniversary for the Terry Fox Run, and the situation with the COVID-19 pandemic has certainly thrown not only the Terry Fox Run charity, but all charities into situations that they've had to kind of navigate and get through. And the solution for the run was to go with a virtual event. So that's what's happened this year. Participants and donators have been urged to go online and register and to either participate or donate online. We're here today at the Red Harp because this is just a little bit of an opportunity for me to have the display up of Terry, and knowing that the Red Harp are actually participating in the run today by traveling back and forth to the kitchen and traveling back and forth to the bar and getting for their customers. So this was an opportunity for me to be here, to be a Terry Fox presence, and have people either purchase merchandise or donate directly to our cause.
So what inspired you to get involved in being the chair of the run?
So I was one of the fortunate ones, of course, at my age. I saw Terry. Most people saw Terry when he ran through Acton. As a matter of fact, he ran right down the street just in front of us here, right in front of the Red Harp here in Acton. And
wasn't the Red Harp then?
It certainly wasn't. I guess back then it would have been the Station Hotel. But in those days, many people here saw him because he was in Halton Hills for 3 days, just coincidental to other things he had to attend. I saw Terry actually up north at my cottage, so I saw him south of Barrie on number 11 highway, 4:30 in the morning. We had all gotten up and driven to the secluded spot where we knew he would be passing, and we were able to see him that morning, and we were so inspired and impressed by seeing him, we decided later in the day to catch up to him and see if we could see him one more time. So we drove north of Barrie and caught him as he was just coming out of a motel room from having a rest. So I was actually able to stand beside Terry. I gotta admit I was in awe and didn't really take the opportunity to have a conversation with him. But we were able to buy t-shirts, and we were able to see him and to really be impressed, and it's the sort of thing that it's a once-in-a-lifetime thing that you would never forget.
So how were you notified back then of Terry being running through your town? Like, it almost seems like it would be like a cosmic event today, right? That we would go to a certain part of the earth to see a comet passing or something like that, or a meteor shower at the opportune time. How did you guys get notified of that?
Well, actually,
there's no Facebook, no.
There was no Facebook, no, none of that. Basically, we were able to follow Terry's progress and know where he was at any particular time, particularly when he got to Ontario, because the publicity about his event and about Terry himself and what he was accomplishing and what he was doing really started to galvanize the people, and everyone was excited to be able to follow him and know where he was and how he was making out, particularly his health, given that I think everybody understood what a physical challenge it was for him day after day.
Right. And so, in your 40 years doing the event, what has been some of your biggest memories that you have? Is there any events that particularly stick out to you, or?
Without mentioning any names, I can think back. Well, first of all, I'm going to mention the first year, because you asked about how we learned about it, and without the social media that we have today. Our social media for our first run in 1981 was our good friend, our dear friend who we lost 7 years ago, Ron McKnight, who was the voice of Acton. Our social media was Ron sitting in the back of a station wagon with speakers on it, and they drove around all the streets of Acton, and he announced over the loudspeaker the Terry Fox Run, and that it was taking place on Sunday, and that everybody should be there. That's one of my first memories of how we sort of got started, and how my friend Ron was involved. I can remember specific participants who came and who I can still see them rounding the track. The elderly gentleman who arrived and was being pushed around in a wheelchair, and when he came around for his final lap, and I'm not really sure how many he did, probably 50 feet from the end, he got up out of his chair and he trotted to the finish line. Those are the things you remember. You remember the kids being pushed in their buggies, and then following them year after year and following their names and realizing that these young people are growing up before but you only get to see them once a year. So it's really the participants over the years that have really not only been the enjoyment that I've had, but they've been the reason why Acton has been so successful over the years.
Awesome. And so, and I know you might not have a total for today yet, but how much have you raised over the years? I know we asked you this last year.
So far in Acton, over the last 39 years, we have raised over $863,000. Last year we raised $21,000, and my guess would be that we would be somewhat less than that this year, just because of the COVID situation. But I know I've spoken to some participants who are actually raising more money than they did. So I think that it's probably, I'm not going to have a number today, and I may not have an actual number for a few days, but I know we're close to $10,000 online, and I know there's another $3,000 or $4,000 that I know that's going to be coming in probably the old traditional way through pledge forms. So I think that when all is said and done, we're going to be relatively close to sort of what our average has been the last few years, and I think that's one of the important things. But the other important thing is keeping the momentum of the run year after year going, and having people able to participate even though it is online, keeping Terry's message alive, the message that he left, that he when he finished he said, I can't continue, but it's got to go on without me. And that's what's happened the last 39 years, the last 40 years now. People have taken the torch he passed and have continued the run in his name.
Is there anything else you'd like to mention, John?
I would just like to, now we're here at the Red Harp today, I would like to thank the staff for having me here so that I can at least have a little bit of a presence of the run somewhere in town. So I appreciate that, and the opportunity to sell a bit of merchandise and maybe pick up some donations. I appreciate that, but I really want to thank all of the participants, because they are the people. We have participants that have been here coming since year one, so they are now 40-year participants. We have participants that have been coming for many years. We see new participants every year. So the other thing that I really want to acknowledge is that even though our participant numbers may not be outrageously large, they are able to keep people within our community involved in the run by collecting pledges. So although our numbers, we're usually around the 150 to 160 people, our numbers are fairly average through the years, has been about that number, but each of the participants brings in a fairly substantial amount of pledges. So it's not only the participant, it's the people that are donating as well. They are part of the Terry Fox Run, They are part of Terry's dream. They're part of Terry's Marathon of Hope.
And last thing, where do people go to make a donation?
So people can, the simplest way would be to go online, terryfox.org. I think the easiest way would be to register as a participant and then sponsor yourself. That's probably the easiest way. Alternately, they can contact me, Jon Hurst, my number is 853-2015. They can contact me and I would be pleased to facilitate their donation, whatever works for them.
Thank you so much, Sean, and thank you for 40 years of service to the cause and the community.
It's been my pleasure. Thanks very much.
Thank you. So we are here with Kathy Hall today at the Red Harp and the 40th anniversary of the Terry Fox Run. Kathy, Jon Hurst tells me that you're the largest donor for the Terry Fox Run for Acton.
I am, and that's thanks to all my wonderful sponsors over all the years.
Okay, and you told me you're doing a run today or a jog today, and
Riding my bike.
Okay.
Too old to run anymore.
Okay, and how far are you going?
I'm doing the 10K, maybe a little more.
Awesome. And so how long have you been involved in the Terry Fox Run?
I've actually done the run, this is my 38th year.
Oh wow. So
John's got 2 years somewhere.
Yeah, John's got a couple of years on you, right?
Yes.
Okay, awesome. And what are one of the things that made you get involved?
Well, unfortunately, we've lost a lot of members in our family to cancer and a lot of friends and everything. So I just feel that it's an important time of the year to remember all of them and to show my support to Terry Fox and the amazing feat that he tried to do when he in his early years. So
Awesome.
I'll keep doing it as long as I can.
And is there a message you could get out to everybody? What would that be?
I think my message would be to try to support, as much as you can. It doesn't have to be huge numbers. Little numbers always grow, so if you can donate anything, a little bit, whatever, that would be appreciated. And I know that a substantial portion of the dollar goes directly to the cancer research for the Terry Fox.
So Kathy, I hear that this year you're dedicating the run to someone. Can you tell me more about that?
I'm dedicating my ride this year to Karen Hughes Kennard, who's been unfortunately battling with cancer for the past year. She's a great friend of ours. She's done amazing, and I just wanted to show, how proud we are of how she's dealt with this unfortunate disease. Last year and earlier this year, I lost 2 other friends to cancer, and last year I lost my cousin right before the Terry Fox Run. So that's the t-shirt for Karen, and in memory of the other ones we've lost. So it's a real thing, unfortunately, and I hope I don't have to dedicate my run next year to anybody. Stay safe and healthy, everybody.
Thank you so much, Kathy.
Okay. Thanks, Chris.
Thank you.